Welcome to the Divine Gossip Podcast. I am your host, Mackenzie Foster. I'm a psychic medium, witch, tarot reader, spiritual mentor, paranormal investigator, and honestly, I'm just a really curious woman who loves diving deep into how this universe works. I started this podcast to share with you what I'm learning about intuition, the unseen world, healing, magic, and most importantly, becoming the most authentic and honest version of myself. Not the perfect one, but the real one. And if you're down for that too, grab your journal, keep an open-minded heart, and let's get into today's video. Hello, and welcome back to, do I say Divine Gossip?
Yeah.
It's still Divine Gossip. Welcome to Divine Gossip, but this is our first episode of Mystical Moments with Megan and Mackenzie, and we are so fucking excited to be doing this. I'm obviously Mackenzie. Megan.
I am Megan.
Beautiful. And yeah, this is our first episode. We have a little outline in front of us. We both obviously want the vibes of this podcast to just scream authenticity and fun and learning and expanding our minds and bonding girl to girl, but also bonding with whoever listens to this and making you feel seen and understood through the lens of spirituality and all the tools and topics we love. And today we're talking about manifestation, so that'll be fun. But I feel like, and maybe you talk about this because Megan is an astrologer. Every week we're gonna try to talk about the astrology if it's relevant / if it's valuable and useful for the episode. And yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I'm not always aware of what's going on in the month ahead astrology, but right now I am because we're at the very beginning of eclipse season. We're about to have our first eclipse in the sign of Leo. So eclipses, for those that don't know, are just basically extreme moon cycles. So we have either a new or a full moon every 2 weeks. And twice in the year, we have four, or I should say, two lunations in one part of the year and two lunations at another part of the year that are kind of amplified moon cycles. And that's because the nodes of fate, the north and the south node, are in those same signs where those moon cycles are happening. So the nodes stay in their signs for like 18 to 20 months per sign before they move on to their next sign in a new area of life in our birth chart. Um, Eclipses are known for being extreme beginnings. We get multiple eclipses in a sign. And the North Node and South Node just shifted recently. And so we're about to get our very first eclipse in Leo on August 12th. So for us, it's in about 2 days. Um, and for those that know how to read their natal chart, you can look at what house number is ruled by Leo in your natal birth chart, and then you can Google what that house meaning is. If you have any planets or points or placements in Leo, you can look up that meaning as well. And that'll kind of give you an idea of what area of life this eclipse is happening. And then later in the month, August 28th, we're going to have our very last eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So we had our first eclipse there in September of 2024, which happened to be a really big month for me personally. And so we're about to get the very last piece of that. Eclipses are known for being extreme beginnings and endings. So you can think about that. Think about what's happened. You can do that same thing that I told you about with Leo for looking up what area of your chart, if you have any planets or placements in that sign. Do the same thing for Pisces. And then once you know the themes of that part of your chart, you can reflect on how far you've come, all the things you've learned in that area of your life. And that'll kind of give you an idea of how the eclipses work and what might be starting for you in Leo.
You said that,
So
was it
that's
December 2024? Is that what you said?
September of
September.
2024. Yes. So
Whoa.
for me,
Wait, that's
that was when I started. What was it for you?
September 2024 is when I met Brayden.
Okay.
And
Okay, cool.
and
And he's a Pisces
he's a
moon.
Pisces moon, and Pisces is my Uranus in the third house is in Pisces. So,
Okay.
isn't that local community communication, that thing?
Yeah. Yes, it's also friendships of people that feel like siblings because it's the siblings part of the chart. So it's just intimate connection too,
Yeah.
which can work for somebody you're in a relationship with too.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes so much sense. That's so cool. So that makes perfect sense for me. What was it for you back then to now?
So Pisces is also about local community, and that was when we started planning the treehouse, was September of 2024. I just realized that for those that celebrate Lionsgate, it was Lionsgate of 2024 in August that I manifested getting a commercial space. The very next month, since we're going to talk about manifestation, might as well just keep going with it. The very next month, we had that first eclipse in Pisces. That's when I approached MJ, my aunt and business partner, to start planning the treehouse. And then by November of 2024, we were open. So,
Wow, that's so cool. And for people who maybe knew, um, what? Who maybe are new, can you explain like that the treehouse, what the treehouse is now versus like what you thought it would be back then, so they can see that change and kind of know what the treehouse is?
so I'm a Reiki master teacher, and I had just left my corporate job in June of 2024 to do Reiki one-on-one for clients out of the mother-in-law suite at my dad's house. And I started doing group events to kind of help bring people into my one-on-one services. I was doing women's circles, and you were doing like witchy events there too. And I was quickly meeting a lot of different practitioners and readers like you and sound healers. And there was just a big group of us who were wanting a commercial space. And so that's how the idea came to me of like a shared commercial space. So, like a spiritual co-working. And I would say that idea is still definitely what we are now. We also have a retail space, and um, I think that's about it. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. It's been more subtle things that have kind of shifted along the way as far as like our payment structure and um, you know, we had an app when we first opened, remember? So stuff like that that shifted. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I think it's also changed into events like it hasn't fully manifested, I guess, yet into a like people aren't there every day like co-working. Like you thought you were going to be open every single day, you're closed Mondays and Tuesdays now. Like the structure, you're right, the structure has changed a little bit, but ultimately it's the same mission of like spiritual practitioners coming together to help support each other and make each other successful, whether it's in the treehouse or outside the treehouse, you know? So, yeah. That's really cool. And
yeah.
it's funny that we're starting this podcast today in this series today because like our friendship turned very like businessy September 2024, and now look where we are now, you know?
Mhm. I know. I thought about that. I feel like I'm finally like that vision that I had in September of 2024 is finally exactly where I want it. Like it's where I wanted it to be. So it's like it's probably been all the eclipses I've had in Pisces that have just been like tweaking it. And now like I feel like I'm where I was dreaming of being, 2 years ago. So
So fucking
it's
cool.
exciting.
Yeah, that's so exciting. I feel the same way. Like I feel like this eclipse in Leo, the first one in Leo this month is my Mars and Mercury are in Leo. So I have a lot of Leo um and it's interesting too because eclipses in Leo, would you say they affect like all fire signs as well a little bit? Like that energy?
Um, so they're going to be making, because the fire signs make harmonious aspects to the other fire signs, same with air. Air and fire work together, so they'll be making trines and sextiles, which are harmonious and helpful aspects, whereas your earth and water placements are going to be making more harsher aspects, because earth and water more so work together.
Right, right. Okay, that makes sense. So I feel like this eclipse season is really changing my career and in the trajectory I'm going then because I don't know. I guess I could say I don't know what happened these past few weeks to make it like this, but I think I've been like a subconsciously, unconsciously making decisions so that my business kind of is the primary thing I'm doing, and I'm feeling less afraid of like going for it now. And I think the eclipse energy is helping with that for sure.
Yeah, we also have something else really helpful going on right now, other than just one piece we didn't mention is Jupiter just moved into Leo. I believe it was June of this year, and so this is like the first eclipse where we're having Jupiter present, and Jupiter is the planet of luck, abundance. It's your ruling planet as a Sag rising, so we have that at play, helping this eclipse feel extra like abundant and beautiful. Um, for some, I'll say. And then we also have Venus just moved into Libra last week.
Yes, that
And
was
so whole sign for me, that's my 10th house of career and public roles. I know Placidus, sometimes our charts are similar, so maybe Placidus, it could be your 10th house too, that's being affected by Venus right now.
I can't tell. I just have my co-star up. I can't tell where Libra is. Oh,
I can pull it up
my
real quick.
midhaven is in Libra.
Okay, so yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, so for both of us then, I believe actually mine might be Scorpio now that I
And
think about it.
and Jupiter moving into Leo, like no wonder it's making my work so big. My Mars and shit is in Leo and in both in the eighth house. So of course like ghost hunting and the occult is like so big for me right now.
That in the eighth house is about collaboration. So
And I
this is a
literally, yes.
collaboration.
Oh my
Our
God.
paranormal team is a collaboration. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
you're
that's how
so
it's been playing out bigly for me too, is about collaborations.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because yeah, you're right. You and then Luna, and then me and Luna and Jenny just had a meeting yesterday, and then the paranormal stuff. Like, you're right. That's crazy. And it blew up all at once. Like, it all happened all at once. I was like, whoa.
Yes, and I just got an email yesterday that the brand deal that I've been trying to get, it's happening.
Really?
So yay.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes, at least for one event. At least for one event. So
That is so
we're gonna
sick.
see how it goes.
Yay, cool. I'm so excited. That's awesome. That's great news. So we
Yeah,
have,
so that's totally eighth house, Jupiter. I mean, we're close enough to this eclipse. It could be related to this eclipse.
yeah,
So
for
that was really
sure.
exciting to get.
For sure.
10th house.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Let me see. For me, Placidus.
Makes total sense. This is so cool. See, this is why talking about astrology and just hearing people hearing us talk about our own charts and our own astrology will help them understand theirs, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Lionsgate, well, they're listening to this a week or so after Lionsgate, but can you explain what the 8-8 portal is? And I think it's perfect for today's topic since we all just moved through it.
Yeah, yeah. So Lionsgate is actually related to ancient Egypt, in which the Nile would flood every year. It would flood all of the croplands. And so it was like a big, I feel like I'm not explaining this right, but like a
Hey,
big,
so you're doing better than me.
yeah. Well, we just did an event on it on a Saturday, so we were like talking about what it was. But it's like basically it was a time of harvest for them. Um, and it's related to the stars as well. So the star Sirius, which is the brightest star in our sky, same with back in ancient Egypt, it would align perfectly over top of the pyramids at this same time of year when the Nile would flood. And so they just thought of it as a very like lucky, abundant, prosperous time. And that tradition has been passed down for years and years, thousands of years. And so now, today, we still celebrate it with that same thought process. The stars still align, and yeah, it just feels like an auspicious day, as well as it's in Leo season, so that's why it got associated with the lion. And yeah, there's definitely more in-depth information on it. I'm definitely not an expert, but that's just a general overview of like how it came to be like an auspicious day that people started working with. And for me personally, I definitely feel that potency there on that day.
I had no idea. I literally thought Lionsgate was just called Lionsgate because it was in Leo season, and then the 8-8 was like the manifestation, money, abundance, numbers, like, and that's why it's special. I didn't realize it had all that history. That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't either until we were doing this event and kind of doing some research. It just so happens to fall around 8/8 every year. So kind of giving extra, um, I don't know what the word is, but like relevance to 8/8 being an abundance number, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's so cool. Yeah, I love that. I haven't ever really celebrated Lionsgate, but I think I always like when the day comes around, like I went to the beach that day and had some alone time, so I like meditated and set intentions and like felt into the energy this year, which felt really, really nice. So,
Good.
yeah.
Good. It can be that simple, you know? It doesn't have to be like a big
Yeah.
thing. Some people celebrate it from the time they say the portal opens like July 26th, and then it's like lunation to lunation. So the last moon cycle we had was the full moon in Aquarius, which was July 26th. And then Lionsgate stays open till the next lunation, which this year happens to be an eclipse. So the eclipse on the 12th, August 12th, is when the portal closes, which usually it's a little bit further out. It's not always that close to the lunation cycle. So it's kind of cool that within 3 days of the peak of Lionsgate, 8/8, we're having the closing of the portal too.
Yeah. That's like really, really fucking cool. So we went over eclipse season. And then we went over Jupiter and Leo, Lionsgate. I think that covers like the big stuff right now. I mean, the nodes changed, but we could talk about that next episode because this is most potent energy happening right now is all this Leo stuff and moon stuff. So,
That and for us, we do have like a little transit that's going to be affecting us that I wanted to tell you about just so that we can be aware. So I'll just quickly say it. It's starting this week. Mars moving into Cancer. And so Mars does not like to be in Cancer. It's like the way I heard it explained is like two people who already don't like each other, like meeting up and like being irritated. Like, yeah, just
Well, that's
Mars wants to
horrible.
move forward and Cancer wants to go sideways, so it becomes this like passive aggressive type energy. And so with both of us having our suns in Cancer, I wanted to tell you that we should be extra aware of if we're getting irritated or aggressive with each other, during this time while Mars is in Cancer and we're just starting this new initiative,
Yes.
could be a pain point.
Yeah.
But that's why I love astrology because it's so helpful to know, like, if something does come up, okay, this is just that Mars and Cancer happening, like, it's okay. We're gonna get through this. Once it's out of there, we'll be all right.
That's true. Yeah, you always you tell me transits to look out for, and I'm like, oh my God, no, I don't want to hear about it. But you're like, don't you want to? Because then it warns you, and you can be more aware, self-aware of this is the energy right now. So yeah, I think it just sucks. But I mean, you can't have the good without the bad, and well, vice versa, you know? So I also think, and maybe this is nothing, but we're obviously Cancers, our suns are in Cancer, like you said, but my moon is in Aries, which is ruled by Mars. Do you think that I constantly just have that irritability low key, and maybe I'll be okay throughout this because I'm used to the Mars Cancer energy?
Uh, I don't know. It's definitely, yes, can play a factor. But what I was gonna say too is think back to like January 2025 timeframe.
Okay.
That was the last time Mars was in Cancer. We had a Mars retrograde. It was right at the beginning of 2025. And during that time, just think about like how you felt. Like for me, I remember it was like limp dick syndrome, like just trying so hard to get it up, right? But you can't because it's just like you can't move forward. You know what I mean? Like you're trying, it's whiskey dick. That's the word I'm looking for. Like you want to have sex, you're trying so hard, but you just can't do it.
Mars in
It's
Cancer
just
is now just the whiskey dick transit.
whiskey dick. Yeah, yeah,
No, no, that's yeah, because Cancer is forcing you to slow down, and Mars is like no. So it's like yes, I totally understand what you're saying. The tension there. Yeah, we'll see. I also forget that like my emotions have always been not as much nowadays, but like always been hard to deal with because Aries is in like the moon is in Aries, you know, like that is not natural and normal, like or comfortable there, you know.
yeah. It just makes emotions more challenging for you.
Sick, sick,
Yeah.
sweet.
Sorry about that one. That is a challenging placement for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Do you like my squishy ball?
I do.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you. Okay, so okay. I think I we have an outline here that I just rough draft because I need some kind of barriers to keep my crazy mind inside of. Um, I feel like we do kind of do life update and astrology in one because our lives are intertwined with astrology. So I don't think there's anything else we need to like update them on life-wise. I think it'll naturally come out. So do you want to start talking about manifestation with that being said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we thought of this topic because we manifested each other. So I think we can start by explaining our perspectives of manifestation and kind of how that played out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I always have a hard time explaining manifestation, to be honest, because it can mean so many different things. Like when I teach witchcraft, I always say witchcraft is a form of manifestation because you're putting together intention and your beliefs and um, physical material together to create an outcome. And that is what I think of manifestation as, to be honest. Like, I think of witchcraft as manifestation. I think of there's different ways you can manifest, but ultimately that's what it is. And I feel like it's important to understand that manifestation isn't just like snapping things into reality. Most of the time it's not. It's can take time, and it's you putting your, again, intention, belief, and maybe like a ritual and practice and action into it to make it manifest into reality. So, and sometimes, and I think this has been my whole life, is weirdly enough, well, I don't want to say never. I think my life has been very, very lucky and blessed my whole life. That's my Sag rising. I'm blessed with that. But I think the only time I have actually put intention into manifesting something specific is with a boyfriend, which I will say, well, actually, I'll just say it now because it's super quick. The only thing I have really wanted to actually intentionally manifest that hasn't just naturally happened is a boyfriend. And I did this by writing down, like scripting, like writing down exactly what I wanted. And I looked back on my journal of this was like 6 years ago, right when I started my spiritual awakening, like spiritual journey, everything. Right when I started witchcraft too, I wrote down everything I wanted in a boy, and it literally is exactly what Braden is, which is my boyfriend now. And it was so crazy to look back on. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy how specific this is. It was like blue eyes, this hair, like abs, but like dad bod mixed together. And like, no offense, babe, but it's true. And he says it too. But I'm like the thing I circled over and over again, the biggest word on there was funny. And Braden's the that's his number one personality trait is funny. And so it's just like so weird. Um, so yeah, I've had experiences with scripting. I loved doing that. Oh, my actually okay, wait, I'll save that. Okay, you go now because I'm talking too much. You go. What's your definition of
No,
manifestation?
no, I want to hear. While you're on a roll, keep going.
Okay. I also manifested, I'm remembering as I talk about it, when I first started all this spiritual stuff, that we were in a storm. There was a storm outside the house, like a giant hurricane, and all the power went off for like literally 3 days. And which was so weird because we're right next to the hospital grid, so our like power never really goes out. Like they always have backup shit and whatever. So I was like, this sucks. And it was the middle, I think it was so hot or something. It was like really hot outside. So we had no AC, and you know how I do in no AC. I mean, I sweat constantly, so I can't do that. Um,
You're just a princess.
I am. I need my AC. It needs to be 68 degrees always. Anyway, I scripted over and over again the power's back on, the power's back on, the power's back on, and I was like meditating on it, I was manifesting it, visualizing it, and then I went on a walk with like my step siblings. We came back and it was at night, and I remember I came back, checked my phone. It was 11:11 a.m. 11:11 p.m. as I was like writing. Like I came back from the walk, was writing, checked my phone, it was 11:11 p.m., and then the lights came on, all of them, at 11:11 p.m. And when I told everyone, they were like, that's just like whatever, like 11:11, blah blah blah, whatever, it's just a number. I'm like, what? You don't get it. You don't get that's crazy. I was scripting it, and then at 11:11 p.m., all the lights come on. Like, what? And then remember I wanted $20 one time, and literally a $20 bill like appeared in that same scripting journal I had. Literally just appeared in it. I was like, when did I put a $20 bill in here? Never did. Never put that in there. It was fucking crazy. It was crazy. So when I first started my spiritual journey, that's when I have the most like crazy manifestation stories. I would say now it's more like, holy shit, my dreams are coming true because I'm putting in the work and like have been manifesting it since I was a child. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my spiel so far. Your turn.
Yeah, and it makes me really curious, like, I don't know, I like to like think into like how did that $20 bill get there? And I'm like, I don't know, this is just what was coming to me is like, what if on some like alternative timeline, alternative reality, you like did something in your journal that caused you to put the $20 bill in there. Like, let's just say you were manifesting money or something and you wanted to put it there like as a representation or something. And then the timelines like merge back and then it's in the timeline where you just manifested for that money to be there.
Yeah.
And maybe you were like even psychically like picking up on the other timeline.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It
That
literally,
might be a little far-fetched, but like,
no, I don't think it's far-fetched at all, but to be honest, in that moment it felt like I put it there, but I didn't remember putting it there. Like it felt like another me like did it and I don't have recollection of it. It literally felt exactly like that. So that's funny yeah.
that's really cool though.
Yeah.
And I feel the same. Like, I manifested, like, I was trying to think of the things I've manifested, and the ones that I really remember are the bigger ones,
Yeah.
like where it was long term, you know?
Me too. Yeah.
Um, and I guess the story I'll tell is how I manifested you as a friend. Um, I was like at the beginning of my spiritual awakening. I was starting to lose like my old friends that people I had been really close to for years and years. But through my spiritual awakening, I was changing a lot. And so I was really looking for a support person. I was manifesting, I feel like both a mentor, someone that I felt really connected and safe to, but also as like the term I put, spiritual bestie. Like that was the, and I remember a specific moment, like sitting on my couch, like looking out the window and like I think it was that. I didn't write anything down. It was just like a wish. Like, please send me a spiritual bestie, like someone that I just vibe with and someone that I can share my experiences with and someone who loves this stuff like me. And then I don't know how long it took. It couldn't have been too long. It had to have been weeks, maybe months. But I was following Lena Papadopoulos. I probably like butchered her last name, but I was following her for a while, feeling like maybe I would work with her as a mentor. And she had posted that she was going to be part of this online, I don't know what you call it, summit or like there was multiple practitioners from different areas of the world who were going to come up there and talk about their modalities, but it was all going to be like one event. And so I signed up for that event and I wasn't going to be able to make the whole thing because I had like other stuff going on. So I just dropped in for the very beginning of it, and you happened to be the first person that was like opening that event. And when I saw you, I just felt this like deep like magnetic pull and I like couldn't figure it out. At first I'm like, "Oh, she looks like me." Like that was the first thought I remember. She looks like me. And then I was like, "Wait, no, she doesn't really look like me." I was like, "I don't know, she feels like me." I was like, "I don't know what it is." So then I go look you up on Instagram and I was already following you. And I was like, what the hell? I don't know her. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing this name. How the hell am I following her? And then I'm looking at your content and I see Virginia Beach. And I was like, holy shit, she lives here too? Because, like, Lena lived in Mexico. So, like, all the other practitioners, one of them was from California, like, all over the world, people on this call. And I just so happened to feel drawn to you. I look on social media, I'm already following you, and I'm like, what in the world? And so then I messaged you and was basically saying that I felt called to work with you, like as a mentor. And so then I started working with you, and it, so yeah, I just now realized, like when I started telling this story, that I was actually manifesting both a mentor and a friend, and I got both in one. And yeah, it was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
Of course, like we were just client mentor for quite a bit, getting to know each other. I can't remember how long that program was, but like, I don't know, it was like 6 months maybe. It was a while.
Yeah.
Um, of getting to know each other. And then once it was over, I just like kept trying to pursue you of like as a friend. And you were blocking me hard, but eventually got through. And yeah, the rest is kind of history. We became friends and now we like equally mentor each other. And yeah, it was really cool. And I've had a lot of moments like that in my life where I see someone and know, like, okay, this person's going to be like a big role in my life. Like, I know, even though I don't cognitively like know that, I feel something. And so sometimes I wonder if like manifestation is that we can feel there's someone that wants to come through. And so we start to desire it. And when we desire it and like open ourselves up to it, that's when it can come in. So sometimes I wonder if it's like both, not just that we desire it, but that it was just karmically time. And so it like just is like, oh, you're open? Perfect. Boop. Here it is. Now it's in your reality.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I totally agree. I know exactly what you mean. I think it's a mix of both. Like that's what I think divine timing is like it has to be like the moment where everything aligns how it's supposed to, like karmically in your destiny, but also like when your human self is ready and when your soul is ready, like because at the ultimately like you were manifesting a mentor and friend that you related to and felt understood by, and then you also took the action when you felt there was something deeper going on, like it was a mix.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's a good point to put. But yeah, so I think sometimes when we're manifesting, it's like we would have already had it if we were just open, right? We had to go into that manifestation mode to be open to receiving it.
Yeah.
It's like signaling to the universe that we're open. So if we can just practice being more open to receiving all the time, I think that we wouldn't even necessarily need to manifest. Like the things we desire would just be coming in more frequently, you know?
Yeah, and I think about it on my end, like how guarded I was. Like I remember getting off that call being like, damn, I did really fucking good. Like I was felt so good that night. I was so confident, articulate. I was just like, damn, I nailed that. I felt so good about myself. And then you messaged me and I was like, oh my God, and I just got a client out of this. I mean, that was like a really big sale in my business that I was like, holy shit, like people are taking me seriously. This girl feels drawn to me. That means so much to me. Like it was a huge win for me. But even when you messaged me, I can feel intuitively, and I didn't know this what it was. That's what it was back then. But I can look back at it now and be like, I knew deep down, like, you did feel close to me, but I was like so guarded that I was like, this is strictly a client, and that's all I have room for right now. Especially because back then I was in a relationship and I had like with my ex and I had zero friends because I lost all of them. And I guess my psyche and my mind, body, soul and my life was so consumed with this insane relationship that I just didn't I wasn't open to the possibility of finding a best friend again. I really wasn't. And then as time went by, realizing that relationship wasn't for me, you continuously putting yourself out there for me, I was like, you know what? Like, fuck it, I'm gonna be open to it. And then right when I became open to it, I was okay with you coming over to my apartment. I was okay with talking to you more, opening up more, and now we're best friends. So I did have to be open and ready because it was right in front of my face that whole time. Like we could have been best friends earlier, but only when I was open did it really happen. So
Yeah, and who knows? Like, we don't know the astrology of that time. There might have been something you needed to like open up to, or, maybe you needed, I don't know, like even the potency of a specific lunation to happen that kind of like helped you shift your focus where it needed to go, or to release something that might have been blocking, like whatever it is. But like you said, divine timing wasn't there yet.
Yes, exactly. For so many reasons and factors. But yeah, totally. There could have been an astrological transit that aligned perfectly with the time I was ready to be open. Um, yeah, it was really, really cool. And I think that's our, dare I say, our best manifestation story ever. Because I can manifest a boy all day long. We can manifest money. We can manifest our businesses, opportunities, and outcome. But I mean, this is a very unique relationship that we wouldn't have came across otherwise if we hadn't put ourselves out there and put our intentions out there. So I'm obsessed.
Yes, I'm really glad that it happened this way. And I just want to talk a little bit about like when you're manifesting something long term, because like let's just say we have a listener that has been trying to manifest something for a really long time and it's not come through yet for them. Um, I feel like you just like sometimes it takes more than once. Sometimes it is a year or multi-year long intention. Um, like for me personally, it's I've been manifesting financial freedom and like flow in my life for about, I guess, like 2.5 years since I left my corporate job. So a little over 2 years. And I'm just now getting where I'm really like, whoa, like I've come a long way. I'm really close. Like I'm this close. And what I realized recently was like, maybe it's that I keep, like, maybe the block is that I keep thinking this is going to be like something long term, like it takes a long time. Like, I started looking at my beliefs, right? Deeper, of like, why hasn't this come in yet? And I realized, like, my money story is that it's going to take a long time and hard work to get where I want to be financially. But recently something shifted where I'm like, no, like I've put in a lot of hard work at this point, and now like it can be here, right now. It doesn't have to be some like thing that's like long off in the future. So I just bring that up as far as like sometimes it does take time and multiple times, multiple witchcraft rituals, multiple scriptings, multiple however you decide to do it, wishing upon a star, whatever it is for you, um, to get where you want to be. And then also looking, sometimes it takes like deeper self work to be ready for it to fully come into. So that's where I feel like I'm at personally with like my money story is like, okay, I've done a lot of hard work. I've realized that I have this belief it's going to take a long time. So I'm choosing intentionally to let go of that belief and say, that's not true for me anymore. I can have financial freedom right here, right now in my life. And to be determined, I'll keep you guys updated what happens with that. But I know I'm like right on the edge of where I want to be. So I'm just choosing that as my new manifestation that I'm working on.
I totally agree. That's something we both have been exploring deeper and sharing with each other is manifestation also, and we both believe this, you can create whatever reality you literally want. It's just what's holding you back from experiencing it, being open to it, putting in the action to create it. Like, because some people will be like, I am ready for money. What do you mean? Of course I want money. But like, okay, think about getting $1 million right now. Does it freak you out? What are you confused on what to do with it? Are you actually ready for it? Because what does that mean to be financially free? Like, are your intentions clear? What do you want your life to look like because of it? Like, a lot of people think they're ready, but they're not, and the universe needs to know when you are and if you are.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Nervous system capacity too,
Yep.
of like I feel like it's this idea of wanting more, which is true for manifesting anything, right? Like not just money, but like if you're manifesting anything, you're asking for more. But like, what is your belief around more? Like, does more feel um, overwhelming to your body, to your nervous system? If it does, then you can't receive that. You're not ready to hold that, or it might come in and then you're going to lose it really quickly because you can't hold it, you know?
Exactly. That's such a good point. Capacity is everything, literally. And I think that's a thing in every manifestation. Even when you were coming into my life, like I believe I didn't have the capacity to hold a genuine relationship, right? So when I was starting to disconnect from my relationship that was taking up my entire nervous system capacity, of course I'm now going to be open and able to hold a relationship like that. And that is so true for money. Like you can make all the money in the world, but if you're not able to hold it and feel secure with it, you're going to spend it immediately, or a giant bill is going to come up that you have to pay and it's all going to go away because you don't have the capacity to hold it. That's actually a very, very key component to manifestation. I actually think that should be part of my formula is nervous system capacity.
Yes, yes. And beliefs. I think that's a really important one. Looking at your beliefs around what could potentially like be blocking you from receiving it, and then your belief of like what it means when you receive that thing.
Yes, yes, and do you deserve it? Like, or else you're gonna self-sabotage too if you don't feel like you deserve it or you're scared of it or whatever. And I also think of the example of me finally paranormal investigating. I have always watched ghost adventures and YouTubers that paranormal investigate since I was literally like 10 or something, like so little. And I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. But it's really only until, like, yeah, I've been uploading my podcast episodes on YouTube, but I haven't been creating YouTube content consistently, literally until this year. And it's because I have the capacity for it. I believe it can actually be a reality for me. And for a long time, I was scared of my potential and what that could bring me. Like, nothing was holding me back from going after my dreams. So why wasn't I? Was I scared of my potential? Was I, believed I couldn't do it or wasn't good enough or like so many beliefs I had to work through to actually take the action that I was procrastinating. And that's the same with content. It's the same with content in my business a lot that you've helped me with. Um, so yeah, and now I'm paranormal investigating. I have a freaking club now that is starting. So like that's how long a manifestation can take sometimes. It's like what, 12 years I can actually, and I could have done it earlier, but it wasn't divine timing yet. So
Yeah. And then another thing I thought about too that's like could be helpful for people trying to manifest is looking at their human design because we all have an unique energy type, right?
hmm
And so in human design, you can look at like based on your energy type, which it incorporates astrology. So like if you go to a human design app or website, it'll ask for your birth date, time you were born, and the location you were born. And it'll give you all this information about your energy type, right? And the role you play in the collective. But depending on that, you could be someone who's supposed to be more specific with your manifestations. And then there's other people who are supposed to be more open-ended about their manifestations. and using human design as well to like make sure you're aligned with your unique energy type and living out your life that way can also help you like just get into energetic alignment in general, which is important step for manifestation.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up because human design has been absolutely insanely huge for me. I mean, figuring out that I was manifesting generator, like, uh, changed my life. I'm supposed to change it up all the time. I'm supposed to try a million different things. I'm a 3/5. I'm supposed to experience it to actually know if I like it or not. I'm not supposed to make decisions quickly. I'm supposed to sleep on it for a day, or I'm supposed to, there's so many different facets to how you're supposed to work and how you're supposed to manifest, and you can learn that through human design. Absolutely.
That you can learn about other people. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I approached you for this idea of this, I was like, we should try it out as a trial, make sure it feels good for both of our energies,
Yeah.
make sure this is something we really want to do long term, and then if it feels right, commit to it long term.
Yes, and it's also making me think of the point too when you're manifesting something to not put too much of an expectation on it. It's supposed to be like this way and this time and this amount and blah blah blah. Like because it's not going to be perfect. Like for us, for example, this series, like we just decided today, like Mondays at 10 a.m. are probably going to be a little hard. We're going to explore some other days when we can. Like we're open to like trial periods and like going with the flow and changing, but still being consistent, but just being open to it's not going to be perfect all the time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like imagine if we had gone full sin, this is the time we're gonna do it every week and we're gonna do it like this forever and just like, you know what I mean? Instead of just being like, no, dip your toe in first, get a feel for it. Does that work? Tweak it if it doesn't, and just kind of feel it out of what feels right for us, because whatever feels right for us is right for the universe,
Oh,
and for the ultimate return that we're looking for.
exactly. And that bleeds into every area of life. Anything new you're finally going for and like wanting to experience and manifest into your reality, like it be open to changing it up. Like when it comes to workout routines and like the ways you eat or like so your health and then also like the way you make money, the actions you take, like you're allowed to trial and error it out. And sometimes that's how things manifest is tweaking it over time to be what you really feel like it should be for you, you know?
Yep. Yep. And I feel like once you like have manifested a couple times, it gets easier too. Because like us explaining it to you is one thing, but then you actually like doing it yourself, when those like manifestations start to come through, you'll start to really understand your own methods and what works really like best for you personally.
Yeah, yeah. Even with all of our technology struggles today, we still have amazing points and we're going to put out an episode. And that's our dreams coming true because what do you mean we can create content with our best friend and help the collective in any way we can, even if it's one person, you know? Like, who cares if it's not perfect?
Yeah. And also, we have such wisdom for each other too, like even this conversation reminds us, if where we're at in our personal manifestations right now of like, oh yeah, maybe I did
See?
kind of forget about that piece of
See? We're still
whatever,
going.
you know?
We're still going.
Mm-hmm.
This part's funny. I'm leaving it in. Blip, blip, blip. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Megan, come back to us. Come back to us. If anyone's wondering about what my squishy is, it's called Specs, is what the brand is. So, oh, she's back.
Yeah, you just froze, making a really funny face. So I'm about to send you a picture of it.
That is
You're like
so.
literally at the mic, like,
Oh, you saw that? That's
yeah.
so embarrassing. Well, also, it's not because I literally was like, I'm leaving this in. It's so funny.
Oh, see, that's weird because I heard that before I even saw it. So the sound and the video must not be linked up or
That's
something. I don't
hilarious.
know. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out, quality wise.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best. Okay, I think that's all we have time for today. I think we touched on a million amazing things, and we hope this helped you. We hope you enjoyed episode one of Mystical Moments with Megan and Mackenzie, because we sure did, and we're excited to keep it going.
Yes, and we would love to hear from you guys too of like if any of this like stirred something in you or if like you have a specific question about manifestation that we didn't answer. Feel free to shoot us a message on social media. We'd love to make sure we're hitting the topics and the exact questions that you all have.
This picture, this picture, this picture is not. This picture is horrible. Wait, I'm gonna I'm gonna post this when the episode drops. Y'all will know first.
Okay.
But oh my God, that's horrible. Yes, please let us know.
And when I went to pick up my phone, it was 11:11 and it like switched as I picked up my phone to 11:12. So that to me is like extra confirmation of like, yep, it was for you. It was staying 11:11 for a second longer till you looked.
I love it. That's such a good sign. Um, yes, comment. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. You're gonna see the outro of me telling you this, but we would love to hear from you, whether it's messaging us on social media or you can comment on the YouTube video. You'll see the comments. Or there's a Divine Gossip Google form you can fill out if you want to be anonymous or whatever. And I'll link it below. So anyway, thank you all. Thank you, Megan. I love you.
Love you too. Thank you guys for listening in.
Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Divine Gossip episode. I hope you enjoyed it or maybe even learned something new. If you did, it would mean the absolute world to me if you left a rating and review wherever you're listening. It helps other beautiful souls like yourself find this podcast, find me, and join the DG community. If you have any spiritual questions for me, any haunted stories you want my take on, any topic or guest suggestions, if you want to be a guest yourself, anything and everything, you can fill out the Divine Gossip Google form linked in the description of this episode so I can hear from you because you are literally a part of what I create here. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.